All right. Shalom. This is the Brothers of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers enduring to the end. And to the few sincere Akwat that are diligently learning in silence. Shalom. And we're going to get straight into it with Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 11, verse 14.
The Sirach 11:14 says, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
And that's point blank, period. Good and bad situations, anything we find ourselves in ultimately comes from Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, whether to reprove us, whether to help us out, or, to build up our faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that he's going to get us out of that situation we're in. And as the title of this lesson is, the Lord will defend his elect. The inspiration of this lesson comes from an incident I had earlier today, this morning, when I was going to work, because I had to fill up the truck. So I went to, after I left my job to go do my deliveries, I had to put some diesel in the truck, but all the ports at the big gas station were filled up, so I had to go to a smaller one, which the little diesel thing they had for that was in between two regular gas pumps. And really the big truck I drive had to take the whole space, but there was another car parked in front of one. So in order for somebody not to kind of take up that other space, I went in there and, got in that space. And it was a Eve, a ghetto looking Eve that was in the car, that was in the pump in front. And before I even pulled in, we had locked eyes with each other, and Eve looked like she just wasn't in the mood for anything. So I was like, oh man, I hope when I back up, she doesn't say anything, or there's an altercation. Well, lo and behold, when I go and start backing up the truck has a little camera on the back to, show how your proximity from different things. But the camera was real foggy, and Eve's car kind of the color kind of blended in with the street. So as I was backing up, I thought I had more distance, but I backed right into Eve's car. And I was just like, oh man, it's going to be a whole situation. So I get out of the car and go talk to Eve, expecting it to be a whole situation. But, the damage was barely anything. And the Most High put the spirit on Eve to just, be real chill with it. And then I was like, okay, things seem like they're going to be okay. And then I guess Eve didn't know how to figure out what to do with the situation, whether to get insurance and registration and all that, because I was in the company vehicle. So she called her grandma, and I was like, oh man, Big Mama is definitely going to say something. But lo and behold, Big Mama told her not to worry about it. And in the midst of that, another just random a Jake man, he was dressed like a mechanic, walked up and said, hey, leave that man alone, talking about me. So everything was, just working in my favor to just, blow the situation aside, which it did blow aside. And before I left, the Eve said her grandma told me to have a blessed day. So what? Ultimately, it was the will of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai to get me out of that situation. And it just gave me another spiritual insight on how, Jacob's trouble is going to be for the elect. We're going to get into situations that, as long as we have faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, he's going to find a way for us to get out of it. Which we can get that Proverbs 16 verse 7, Baba Kasha.
This is Proverbs 16 verse 7. It says, when a man's ways please Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
And the key point is, when a man's ways please Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. And hey, these Jakes in the world, these Edomites, these heathens, anybody that's outside of the truth is our enemy. But as long as we keep doing what we can to stay in the good graces of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, doing his will to please him, even our enemies will be at peace with us. And that's the precept that came to my mind when this situation played out. It should have been something much bigger than what it was, but pretty much everybody was just handling the situation to just be like, hey, look, just get out of here. No questions answered. And again, as we're in 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and we can clearly see that these prophecies are, ramping up out here, and Jacob's trouble is at the door. We're going to be faced with many life and death situations where we're going to have to solely rely on Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai to get us out of it. And we're going to see Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai work on a level, we know everything's possible with Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, but some of the situations we're going to get in and the ways the Lord's going to get us out of it is just going to be beyond our imagination, and just going to be that much more of a faith builder in those times to know that, hey, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai has us. But did any brothers have any precepts?
Con.
After you get yours, somebody could get me Proverbs chapter 33, verses 16 to 19. But you got it, Kaya.
Con. And like the brother said, our expectation of the righteous is only good, which requires salvation. And the Lord gonna do even more miracles. All right, He gonna ante up that. He gonna be delivering us from debt. He gonna deliver us from famine. All right, He gonna keep us fed, and it's much more things according to the scriptures that are going. It's gonna be miraculous in the way that the Lord protects us and keep their hedge around us. This is First Chronicles 16:35. I'm gonna start at 34. It says, "Well, give thanks unto Yahweh, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. And say ye, save us, O power of our salvation, and gather us together and deliver us from the heathen, that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praise."
God, and that's pretty straightforward. Hey, save us from the heathen so we can give glory unto thy holy name, as it says. And as it says in pretty much the whole thing of Psalms chapter 124, it was us calling on the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and relying on Him when the enemy, came in like a flood. When those proud waters would have overflowed us, it was Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai that saved us out of their hands. And it's going to be no different during these times of Jacob's trouble, because this devil is getting ready to come down in great wrath, as it says in Revelation 12, verse 12. He's about to pull out all the stops to especially come after the elect, but the Most High is going to set up that standard, as it says in Isaiah 59, to protect us. You got it, Kaya?
Yes, it says, rid us out of the hand of the evil men, or something like that. And also, the Lord, our enemies are lively against us, man. And that's why I brought out that scripture, being delivered out of the hands of the heathen, because frankly, we have been in captivity under the rulership of wicked men, man, it feel like it's been forever, man. All right. And we need that deliverance, man. We crying out to the Lord to not only deliver us, but also give us dominion over these devils. All right. And put that subjection. You got it, brother.
God. And just to back up that point you made, and we in this, in several reincarnations, and especially in this last one, what have we been born into? The rulership of Esau, Edom. So all we know is being in captivity under this devil. And we see what he's coming with this cashless society, with this, with his military, his AI, his robots, all that. To a carnal person, it would seem like this man is unstoppable. Just like those Egyptians seemed unstoppable to Israel back during the times of Moses and Aaron. But what? At the last second, the Most High saved, Israel from the hands of Pharaoh in Egypt, just like He's going to do with this modern day Pharaoh in modern Egypt.
I got that. What I just mentioned just now. It's Psalms real quick. Psalms 38 and 19. It says, "But my enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that that follow the thing that good is. You got it.
God. And hey, our enemies that hate us, chiefly Esau, Edom, hey, he is strong on that carnal left-handed sense. The earth has been given into this man's hands to rule, for this little season. And it would seem that he's got, everything on lock. But that's just going to be a bigger faith builder when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai delivers his elect out of the hands of the wicked miraculously. Hey, it's when the elect are ultimately delivered and beamed up on those chariots, as it says in Jeremiah, that they shall no more say Yahweh that delivered, Israel out of Egypt, but Yahweh that delivered Israel out of the north country, out of America. The events we're going to come into of Jacob's trouble, ultimately leading up to the salvation, is going to eclipse any other point in human history and magnify Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that much more. But we can get that Psalms instead of Proverbs. Psalms 33 verses 16 to 19.
This is Psalms 33 and 16. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
Keep going.
A horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength.
Read verse 18, Baba Kasha.
Behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon him that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy.
So in the first two verses, it's talking about what? The king's strength doesn't deliver him. The horse's might, doesn't deliver. Pretty much talking about these carnal things, especially in these times we're living in, under the carnal and basest man, the most godless man, Esau, Edom, which he's pushed that vibration onto the rest of the world to where people are, solely relying on their so-called wits and strength. In Psalms 33, 16 to 17, it says those things, aren't the things that save. And to back up that Sirach 11 and 14, prosperity and adversity, riches and poverty, everything come from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So ultimately, everything is through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And as it says in verse 18, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. And as we read in that Proverbs 16, when a man's ways please the Lord, then even his enemies shall be at peace with him. So if we continue doing the things to please Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, what? His mercy and his protection during our day-to-day life right now, and especially during Jacob's trouble, is going to be a hedge around us to get us through situations that'll seem completely insurmountable. Like if you were looking at it in a carnal sense, there's no way out. The only way out is death. But the Lord is about to deliver his elect, from trying situations like that. You can keep going at.
God. This is verse 19. To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine.
A point blank period. To deliver their soul from death and keep them from famine. And, brothers all know that Isaiah 65, my servants shall eat and drink. Oh, you got it? Kind of bring it out.
God, this is Isaiah 65. I'm going to start at verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Point blank period. And what does it say in Isaiah 33, verse 6? And knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. And what is the beginning of wisdom? The fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And as it said back in that Psalms 33, behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon them that fear him, and those that are doing the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to please him. The Most High is going to, and we know, some brothers are going to be, martyrs for this truth. But hey, a lot more are going to be delivered from the sword, delivered from famine, the pestilences, all these calamities that are coming our way. And to those brothers, sisters, that are martyrs for the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Most High is going to be with you in that, to give you that spirit, like the 7 brothers of Maccabees, take that death, manfully. So really, as long as we continue to please Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we've got nothing to fear. And hey, just like this situation I had today, I expect more situations like this leading up to Jacob's trouble to take place. And, I I say the same to you, sincere Akim and Akwak out there as well. Really have a spiritual eye, especially right now in the situations you get into, to see, what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has in play to build up your faith in him, so that when the real game starts during Jacob's trouble, you're going to be rocking on big faith, as the elder brother Hawaii in North Carolina always says.
You mind if I keep going in this Psalms 33?
Khan, you got it.
No, because in verse 21. But this is verse 19. It says, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine, our soul waiteth for Yahweh. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name. And, we say this all. Oh, you want to say something?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, so we say this all the time. We brought it out Saturday. It makes no sense for the Lord to give us this truth, give us his name, and then kill us. It says, for our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name. There's actually a group of men on the planet that trust in the name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that exalt that name, that stand stiffly for that name, week in and week out, day in and day out. And those are the men that the Lord's going to deal with. He's going to save those men. Why would the Lord give us his name? And the only men on the planet that actually praise his name, he's just going to destroy us all. That doesn't make sense. Once you believe in that name and you make your body a living sacrifice, your hope, let me read it again. It says, for our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us according as we hope in thee. So the same hope that you have, the same things that you hope that are going to happen, the Most High is going to deliver that. You got it?
And in this Psalms 33, in that Psalms 124, and in Proverbs, I believe it's verse 18, where it says, the Lord's name is a strong tower, the righteous runneth unto it. One thing that is always synonymous with these precepts dealing with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, protecting his elect, is what? Them calling upon that name, showing the importance of that name, which, as we get closer and closer to the end and those judgments really start going out, you Israelites out there are just going to see how important the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is. So for you Israelites out there that, don't want to take heed to the importance of the name, what is it saying, Matthew? Many will say, Lord. Many will say, Lord, Lord. Did we not, prophesy and do, works? He shall say, I shall not know you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. That's going to be a lot of you that didn't put the emphasis on the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. But
Kabar put a good one on the
Khan.
comment board. That's real
I
quick.
got you.
This 1 Thessalonians 5:9. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai. Yeah, plain. We didn't come in this ministry just to be killed, just to be destroyed. There will be martyrs, of course, but the vast majority of us are going to be part of the greatest deliverance in human history. You got it.
Khan. Did any brothers have any? You said you had one, Kaya? Khan, you got it.
This go good with just what he just put. Read that again out, Baba Gashal.
1 Thessalonians 5, verse 9. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai.
Like you had, you just mentioned. Shit, we ain't just coming this thing just only to be martyrs, but also to reap salvation. All right? Like no man just go and die for anything. Yahweh Shai ain't just go die, brother. He died for the sins of Israel, his sins, and also to what? Sit at the right hand of the Most High until he makes his enemies his footstool, man. All right. And as we walk in the ministry, we also have this 2 Corinthians 1:9. It says, but we have that sentence of debt in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in a power which raised it from the dead. I'm gonna get that in the NLT real quick. It says, in fact, we expected to die, but as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely on our power who raised it from the dead, who deliver us from so great a debt and do it deliver, and whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. You got it?
Hey, it speaks for itself. What did Esdras say? And we deserve more punishment than what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai actually put upon us for our wickedness we committed. And even the righteousness, we do, was it say, our righteousness is as filthy rags. We can't be relying on ourselves in these times. It's not about as many videos you do, or or the biggest fringes you got or anything like that. It's simply relying on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and his mercies, which
Yeah, David prayed in Psalms 33, the last verse, that the Lord make haste to help him. Now, one would say, like, shouldn't you ask the Lord? Like, hey, Lord, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, can you help me? David and his word said, make haste to help me, oh Lord, my salvation. All right. David praying because David knew, all right, that he can move the Lord if he would be not just, as passionate in his speech, but also what? Diligent in his righteousness, man. All right. The Lord, he'll give them the opportunity to be saved, man. You got to talk to the Lord, man. Okay? You got it, brother.
Amawad, could you get me Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 to 9 to just back up that precept that Kaya brought out, Baba Kasha?
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and not of yourselves, but it is the gift of the Most High.
Point blank, period. We are saved by grace, the grace of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And we have faith that, in us having, our fear in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and to do the things that please him, we will be saved. It's not by our own works. Hey, we're not going to buy our way into the kingdom of heaven. It's through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, verse 9, not of works, lest any man should boast.
A point blank, period. What does the Most High, require more than sacrifices and that sweet savor, so to speak? Hey, a contrite and a humble spirit. Hey, there was that parable of the Pharisees and the publican that went to the altar, and what the publican was boasting and how he fasted 3 times a day, he prayed and did all these other things. But what did the publican say? Look, I pretty much am nothing. I'm a sinner, and I just simply need your mercy, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And which one was more justified? And the one that had more faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to forgive him of his mercies through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and not the works that he did of his own self.
I got a precept real fast.
Khan, you got it.
It's more of a prayer about King David. This is Psalms 20:1. It says, the Lord heard thee in the day of trouble. The name of the Lord, Yahweh of Jacob, defended thee. It says, save thee, send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee from out of Zion. Remember all the offerings and accept the burnt sacrifice. Salah. Grant thee according to thy own heart and fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our power we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfilleth all thy portions. Well, let's see. I lost it. Hold up. Verse 6 says, my bad. Now know I that the Lord saveth his anointed. He will hear him from the holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord, our power. They are brought down and fallen. We are risen and stand upright. Save the Lord. Let the King hear us when we call. And that was it.
Khan, hey, it speaks for itself. What to say? Some trust in chariots and horses, but we trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Backing up that Psalms 33. It's not the strength of the king or the power of the horse that saves a man, but the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And that's the ones who he's going to show his mercy on. And could you read the first part of that precept you got, Yakana Baba Kasha?
What first part?
Of I think it was the first verse of
verse 1 and 20. it says, the Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of Yahweh of Jacob defended thee.
Hey, putting emphasis on that name again. The Lord's going to hear us in the day of trouble for what? Us calling upon his name and truly believing in the power of the names Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. It's as simple as that. But the next precept we can get is Job chapter 5, verses 19 to 23.
5. This Job chapter 5, verses 19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
Hey, point blank period. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. You know, all these different calamities coming our way. Ultimately, what? Those nuclear missiles, us getting beamed up onto the chariots and saved from that nuclear destruction. You can keep going.
Quick one. Quick
Okay.
one for you. One verse. Sirach 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
Hey, there shall no evil come upon him that feareth Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And even in temptation, you know, when we get into situations that are really going to play on our flesh, if we're of that elect number, the Most High is going to find a way for us to get through it, no matter how tough and insurmountable it may seem. Because a lot of brothers have been on that kick talking about how, you know, coming into these times of Jacob's trouble, we're going to be tested on a whole other level. And we really got to emphasize, you know, being in the spirit and, you know, praying under Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, praying for ourselves and, you know, praying for the brothers out there, and the brothers praying for you as well.
Even in that no evil shall touch thee, and 7, which you're going to have that complete hedge around you. At that time, God going to put a complete hedge around his men, man. Because it's saying no evil going to touch you. So think about that, man. That ain't a little bit evil. He's saying no evil going to touch you, man. And we believe in what the Lord say. That's what we believe in as followers of the Lord, man. We believe that what the Lord say, that's what's going to happen. And verse 20, Job 5:20. And famine, he shall redeem thee from debt, and in war from the power of the sword.
Hey, my servant shall eat and drink. Hey, and from the power of the sword, you know, from Esau coming down in great wrath with that sword, you know, these martial law troops, these foreign troops, you know, ultimately those nuclear missiles, the elect are going to be, you know, preserved and saved from all those things. Keep going.
21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Khan. Hey, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. The Most High is going to put a cold spirit on the elect to really, you know, weather these things of Jacob's trouble. Because what? We're going to be put into situations that seem inescapable. But when we do make it out on the other side, that's just going to build up your faith that much more in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that you can get past anything that's going to come your way.
Yeah, because that scourge of the tongue, when you go to Psalms, it's just in different verses. All right, Psalms 140, they sharpen their tongues like a serpent. That's the wicked. That's the to the tongue. The Psalms 52, thy tongue devising mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully. That's the tongue of the wicked, man. Is what they're gonna come at us against, man, with the lies and deception and deceit. It says, verse 30, 22. Yeah, Job 5:22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Hey, and that's something that, you know, being in great times of famine and martial law, with many people dying around you, one would think they wouldn't be in the spirit where they would laugh at it. But that's just going to be, you know, the ultimate faith that the elect are going to have in those days. Again, in that Isaiah 65, what did it say? My servant shall rejoice, you know, roughly paraphrasing, but he shall lament or vexation of spirit. As we see that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai continues to get us out of these situations, we can do nothing but laugh and rejoice in the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And as it said in Proverbs chapter 1, when all these calamities come upon the wicked of our people, the Lord's going to laugh at them. And how's the Lord going to laugh at them? Through his men. We're the elect are about to get the ultimate I told you so to you wicked so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out there.
I got you, man.
Kind, you got it, and then we can finish it with that 23.
Now, this 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Point blank, period. The Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has not given us the spirit of fear. And really, what does the fear come down to? You know, your lack of faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai being able to deliver you. And you have more of a fear in what? Esau, and what he can do to you. What did Yahweh Shai say? Fear not him that can destroy the body, but fear him that can destroy the body and soul in hell. The worst thing Esau can do to you is put you to death. And if you die in the truth, hey, you're going to be at that elect number. You're going to be one of the first fruits coming back to save the rest of the elect. But if you give into that fear of Esau, what? Hey, you're going to get a horrific death, and you're ultimately not going to be of that elect number. You're going to come back with that shame in the kingdom of heaven.
You want to read 23?
Khan. You were done with your point, your precept, Amawad? Khan. You got it, Khan.
For thou shalt be in the league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace.
Hey, as it said at the end of 22, thou shalt not be afraid of the beasts of the earth. And in 23, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. We know that it says in Sirach 39 that there are spirits created for vengeance, stingers of scorpions and teeth of wild beasts. And was it also saying in Jeremiah 15 that, they're going to be the fowls of the air and the beasts of the earth as some of the plagues and judgments upon our people. They're going to be wild animals out here, newly created creatures, things we've never seen. But those that fear in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and have his grace and mercy upon them, they're going to be at peace with those creatures. It may be, you got to think about it like this. You may get into a situation where some troops or, some neo-Nazis have you cornered, and then a pack of wild dogs, some she-bears come out of nowhere and attack them and kill them while, they just don't even do anything to you, and you get out of that situation. We're about to come into many great miracles like that.
Quick precept.
You got it.
This Proverbs 16 and 7. It says, when a man's ways please Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Hey, that came out earlier. The Spirit had to have it come out again. When a man's ways please Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, even his enemies will be at peace with him. You may even get into a situation to what? The elder brother brings this up. You may be on a bus going to a concentration camp, and some so-called patriots ram the bus with a Ford, F-250 or something, and break out everybody in that thing, and allow you to escape from going to that prison camp. But say you are in a prison camp, the Most High might put a spirit on one of those guards to give you some extra food and let you out of the prison.
Because at the end of the day, this is the Lord's movie, and everybody has a role to play. You have people walking the earth right now that exist for no other reason than to help the prophets during Jacob's. All right, you have a generation of men that were born here in these last days just to receive salvation and glorify the Lord. You also have people that are on the earth for no other reason than to just, hey, this man's in this situation, I'm gonna get him out. He might not even be somebody that believes in the Bible. He might even be a heathen. All right, like that precept the brother just read. Even our enemies are going to be at peace with us in that day. This is the Lord's movie. He's controlling all of the pieces. You can't look at this carnally. You can't look at this like a skin color thing. Oh, black people are going to come together. There's going to be people that look like you wouldn't even imagine that are going to end up helping the Lord's elect. You got it, all right?
Hey, they might not even They might not even speak English. They might just be able to gesture at you, but help you out. But backing up that first precept we brought out, Sirach 11 and 14, poverty and riches, prosperity and adversity, everything comes from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Backing up that point you just made, Amawad, that this is the Lord's movie and everybody has their role to play. And those that are of the elect, their role ends in what? Salvation and victory, no matter what is written in their plot line of the story. But you got it, Kaya. And the next precept we can get after that is Sirach chapter 2, verse 10, Baba Kasha.
Got it.
You got it. I was just gonna bring out that, that we have entertained strangers on the web, but you got it.
And you can bring it out if you want.
This Hebrews 13 and 2. It says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware." But even being aware that the people we're gonna cross and encounter, like Amawai said in that time, we're gonna run across people who the Lord have put have put the spirit on them to protect us, the righteous in such a way. What is that? That's an angel, man. All right, that's an angel of protection, or whatever it may be in that time where the Lord put the spirit on these people, man. But you're gonna have as the men of the Lord have angels of protection that actually follow them, or their own designated angels. You're gonna have the same thing, man. The Lord gonna be working the spirit for men to do that, to protect them in these days, man. Because it's gonna be horrific out. You got it.
Yeah, the scriptures say the Lord have created angels for vengeance. So obviously there's got to be angels for deliverance. Otherwise, there wouldn't be balance. There's angels that are set up specifically to destroy things and to deliver things. Even tells you Michael's gonna stand up in that day.
I was about to say that's a good analogy. Yeah, Michael.
God. And I'm not saying this old Jake was an angel, but hey, the Most High put the spirit on him to be an angel to help me out. Because in that situation I had earlier today, he was like adamant about, like, he was pumping gas on the other side of the pump and got out of the car and walked up and was just emphasizing, let that man go. Let that man go. That's nothing. Why bothering him like that? And then when the Eve had left, I went, I was pumping, I went inside to pay and pump for the gas. He waited there and like rolled up and kept talking to me. It was like emphasizing, look, that wasn't no big deal. I kept telling her just to, let you go. Did she let you go? Is the situation straight? And I was like, oh yeah, it's good. Like he was just, the spirit was on him to just be adamant about getting me out of that situation.
Well, good is against evil. So just like when Michael come with his angels, he gonna fight against Satan and his angels, the adversaries, the left hand, the sinister side. All right. So even in the time, a battle, it's not gonna just be battles fought by the way of wars. All right, it's gonna be little proxy battles being fought for us, just famine little battles, or battles are coming in and out. Or God may say, hey, come here, or walk in this alley, or go that way. All right, it's gonna be a lot of battles, all right, that's gonna lead the good into salvation, man. All right, but the bad and that or the wicked one gonna be trying to what? Take the way of salvation take the righteous out of the way of salvation unto death, man. But the Lord not gonna allow it, because they've been ordained from the beginning of the earth. Preach it, you got it, bro.
Con. But we can get that Sirach 2 and 10 if no other brothers had any precepts. Con.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
And what does it say in Ecclesiastes chapter 1? There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that has been is everything that shall be. And also in Romans chapter 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. When we look into the generations of old of our forefathers all throughout the scriptures, they were put in situations with their back literally against the wall. But Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai found a way for them to, persevere and get out of those situations and put those people that sought to put them to death into those very same snares and traps that they tried to put our forefathers into. And hey, And we're going to go into some of these accounts. Hey, these should be ultimate faith boosters, because these again, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. These very similar miraculous acts are going to take place again, as brothers always go into. We are in the book of Acts, part 2. We're out here preaching, like the apostles and the disciples of old. And what? They got into terrible situations, but through their faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, they were delivered out of them. And the first account we're going to go to is Acts chapter 12. And you can start at verse 1 and read down to verse 12.
Acts 12 and 1. My bad.
Acts 12. You can start at verse 1, and we're gonna, read down to verse 11. It's pretty straightforward. So I tried to make it shorter. I just wanted to get the whole meat of the matter in there.
Good. Acts 12 verse 1. It says, "Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church." And
we know that this is speaking of Herod Agrippa the first. And we know Herod was an Edomite who was a client king for the Romans. And we're living in, the extension of the Roman Empire, with these Edomites about to come after us again to vex the church. They're coming with the scourge of the tongue, that demonization campaign. And then eventually they're just going to say, fuck it, and pull out that sword and come straight for us.
Verse 2. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
Hey, point blank period. And they started putting, the disciples to death.
And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread.
And they were in the time of the Pesach, or the Passover, which next month, hey, we're coming into the Passover. And with the way things are looking, this could very well be the last Passover. Abaratazah, that's the case. But you got it, Kaya.
It says, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
And hey, what's it saying? Revelation chapter 2, verse 10, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. And some of us are going to get caught up and brought to these different detention centers and, camps, whatever you want to call them. You got it, right?
It says, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him.
And hey, I was watching a video of the brother, his page is GMS Rome Lions on Fire, and his whole lesson was going on to the power of prayer, and us praying for brothers and brothers praying for us. And if a man's spirit is truly in tune with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Most High is going to answer those prayers, and we're going to see what the prayers of the church got for the Apostle Peter. You got it, right?
It says, and when verse 6, Acts 12 and 6, and when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison.
Keep going.
And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly, and his chains fell off from his hands.
So a literal angel in this instance came to, save the Apostle Peter out of this situation. And as it said, he was not only was he chained up, but he was chained up between 2 soldiers, making sure that he couldn't get out of this situation. Hey, we're going to be in situations where you shackled up. Yeah, I'm just, going off of, just giving examples. You shackled up, you in a detention cell, and you got 2 armed guards right in front of your cell, down the hallway in the next room. You got facial recognition cameras in there, just no way out. And you might, in a lot of cases, to even move around to certain sectors of that detention center, what you'll have to have the C-hip in you. And if that scanner doesn't pick up on you, they're going to know that you're not supposed to be allowed access to this area. So they're going to come after you. Like just situations to where it looks like there's going to be no way out. But you got it.
8, Acts 12 and 8. And the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed him and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. Yeah, he couldn't believe what was happening. Like the brother said, hey, we're going to be in situations that look bleak. All right, like I'm like, you know, I'm consumed. Basically, I'm what? I'm overtaken. All right. And that's when the Lord puts up standards for us, man. Now, these people come rushing in like a flood. We don't have the artillery. We don't have the bodies to withstand the devices this devil got, man. The Lord got this devil playing with some high-tech technology, man. All right, we can't hide in these houses. And they got, come on, man, they got heart attack weapons, man. All right, we ain't gonna be able to withstand what the devil bringing, because that's the sword of the Lord. That's what people don't understand. All right, Romans 13. That's the whipping of the Lord coming down. So you're not gonna be able to hide from the hand of the Lord. Ultimately, He's gonna lift up his angels to have that standard for us, man. This verse 10.
Like we always go into too, about how the Lord has a magazine or armory full of weapons. When you see the Lord plays out things through men. So when you see these different Edomites, all right, and the minds of the Edomites come up with certain weapons from the least to the greatest of them, that's all the weapons of the Lord can take. The Lord can take claim to all that. That's just the creativity of the Lord's mind on men to create those things, man. And they're whooping sticks. You see the fucking dew of heaven, or what we call it, you know, amongst the truth, amongst us, we call it the dew. These devils got fucking lasers they can shoot down from satellites and drones and burn shit up. Hey, you can't fuck with that, man. I don't give what the biggest AK-47 a nigga got and South Central Watch got. He can't fuck with that. That'll melt that shit in his hands, man. With his black ass with it. All right. It just is what it is. This devil got a blessing from on. This devil got a blessing from the beginning, man. That came from on high. You can't fuck with it. You gotta give credit where credit's due, man. All right. And this devil got so much. He's been playing his part with those weapons, man. The dew, the missiles, all of the standards of the weapons for the missiles. That devil, he has done his thing through his Russian scientists, all right, European scientists, man. This man, he a bad boy, you know, from that part, from that, you know, like, and you gotta put in there too that CERN shit, man. This devil got, man. This devil could open portals and get certain apparitions and demons to come forth, man. This nigga's a real live beast, man, with this shit. But you got niggas out there, all right, in these various hoods, these scoffers. You think you can fuck with that, man? Well, we gonna see, you know. We gonna see. Meanwhile, real quick. Meanwhile, you got certain because you got brothers that's into that, you know, into that world a little bit. You got shit like the SHOT Show. You got 4-year-old little boys breaking down 50 barricades and shit, chambering them and racking them and shit. Meanwhile, your kid is at home doing the nay-nay and talking about Pound Town in the front of the class, man. This little nigga here know how to fucking shoot some shit from 1,000 yards away. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, hey, like you said, this was diabolical, man. This man got what it is, the homogeneous cirrus, man-made clouds. This man could send an Arctic blast through when we just in the house barricading ourselves in with guns and weapons, and he can't get us out. He could just make it freeze, that motherfucker. A whole freeze come through, man.
Hey,
you got it.
These niggas be talking about gang and O Block. Man, this nigga got the police. This nigga got some shit called the FBI, the CIA. All right,
Yeah.
You niggas don't know shit, man. This nigga got a real organization that's founded like they just like fucking the Men in Black, and they'll come see you too. All right, this man, you talking about having a gang? Your boys. This nigga got the boys for real. All right, Rosicrucians, Jesuits. This nigga, this shit ain't no joke. That's why we open up the camp the way we open up camp, and we give dedication to the men that needs to be given dedication to. We sacrifice our lives to do this, man. This ain't no joke. This ain't no game. All right, we really do it. We ain't saying we doing it. We doing it, man. We on the field, coach. Meanwhile, you got guys spectating from the fucking outside on the sidewalk of the stadium, want to play Stephen A. Smith to us, man. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, only by the, like you say, brother, only by the hands of the Lord, we ain't dead, man. You don't think this man could lay hands on the apostles in the men that's under them, that's on these cones, and man, that man will put us down, man. This man can put us down for 400 yards away. Ain't nobody knows where that.
Hey, brother, miles away from a computer room. And saying a gas leak, you had a gas leak at your house that blew half the fucking neighborhood up, man. You know, this nigga lie and say anything, man.
Yeah, like you say, the Lord don't protect us, brother. We up out of them, and we understand that. We know that. That's why we don't boast of ourselves. We boast of the man Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, like that's it. Like we know that, you know.
I know y'all don't know this guy. Real quick, I know y'all don't know this guy. You said about boasting about yourself. You know, he finally went up against the apostles. You go there in New York, this nigga always boasts about his MMA skills, man. This nigga, his thing named Azar, if I'm not mistaken. That guy was a complete nutcase, man. All right, nigga talking about he'll do this move on you and put you in a figure four and twist you up and all this real naked choke shit. That shit can't do nothing, man, in that day. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing. Weapons can't do nothing. Your fast talking mouthpiece ain't gonna be able to save you, man. Money, none of this shit, man. Only thing that's gonna be able to save you, man, is your works, all right, and your belief, and your belief in your Yahweh Shai, man. Ultimately. And you still got it, you know, and that's still a Lord's will, you know. But go ahead, brother.
Verse 10, Acts 12 and 10. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leaded unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out.
They got past the first ward, the second ward, you know, the different sections of that prison to the city, and the gate just opened of its own accord. It opened by itself. Divine intervention, as they say.
And they went out and passed on through the one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of
No, I was trying to get my throat together, brother.
Oh. It says Peter was come to himself. When he was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that Yahweh had sent his angel and had delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all expectation of the people of the Jews.
Hey, it's a beautiful thing. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod. You know, the faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, you know, seeing these miraculous works, you know, just further building up his belief and his conviction in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And it's going to be no different for us. Once we get put into these situations, you know, during Jacob's trouble and we're delivered, we're going to have nobody to praise and give thanks to but Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Simple as that. It looks like you got something, Amawad.
Yeah, real quick. This is
Con.
Kaya had mentioned it. I'm gonna just read it. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
And when they fear his name from the west, the elect and where the Western Hemisphere in the United States of America, when they shall fear the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai from the west, what? And the enemy, those proud waters, as they're called in Psalms 124, shall come in like a flood. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is going to set up that standard, that spiritual dam to push that flood to either side of us, keep us dry, so to speak, or, the wicked of our people get completely washed away by it. Brothers are going to have we're coming into the times where, like with the Apostle Peter, angels are going to personally intervene for brothers. Brothers are going to get spiritual powers. It's just going to be far beyond anything we would have ever, expected to take place. Even though we read about these things, it's one thing to read about it and one thing to actually see it take place right before your very eyes.
Hey, it says, what should we fear? Like, what can men do us? Technically, when we know the Lord got the kings of the heart as the rivers of water, he's changing them wheresoever he please. So at the end of the day, if they do give us a man, like it say, you should be cast in prison 10 days. We're going to endure some of these afflictions and accounts that, like the brother read, some of us going to be thrown in prison. All right. Some of us going to, but at the end of the day, ain't nothing going to touch us. And if we got to go and to where that is at with these, with the beheading machines or whatever, what they call them, the
guillotine.
The guillotines, when we have to go up into them, hey, at any time the Lord can work something. This is Acts 21. You got it. All right, 13.
If I could say real quick, you brought up a beautiful point with that Proverbs 12:1, where it said Proverbs 21:1, where it says the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. He moveth it whithersoever he goeth, like the rivers of the waters. What? Rivers, floods. That flood that is coming up against the elect, the Most High is controlling that flood as well. And he's going to direct those channels to what? Not drown out his elect.
Yeah, because we got to be tried. So we going to have to face adversity face to face. Like you said, these things that we read about, we about to encounter. See, it's one thing to be reading about it, and the Lord, like, it's coming to pass. Like, the Lord don't play around, brother. We got to walk for that fire and water. It's going to be up there. All right. As our forefathers did, we always say we the spirits of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Well, Daniel was a prophet. As we can recall, he was thrown in the lion den. All right. Like, did we forget? It don't matter if it was in a Babylonian empire or wherever it was at. He was thrown in the lion's den, man. Okay? And a brother could be Daniel sitting here. So, hey, he's going to get what? Tried again. He's going to get delivered. All right? He going to what? Withstand it. This is Acts 21:13. We know what the things that happened to Paul. It's countless. It says, then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break mine heart? For I am not ready. For I am ready not to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of Yahweh. For the name of Yahweh, our Lord and Savior, the Mashiach Yahweh Shai. You got it, brother.
Hey,
I want to back it up too.
Khan, at Acts 21:13, Paul said, hey, I'm not only ready to be bound, but to die also for, the testimony of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. We know some of us will be martyrs, but what? Like those 7 brothers of the Maccabees, you got to take that manfully. And we know what we signed up for when we, put our hand to the plow to preach this word. It speaks of those that were beheaded for not bowing down to the image of the beast, the mark, all that. And was it also say at the end of Revelation 2, verse 10, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Our expectation for going manfully to the end, if that's our lot, in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is to receive that crown. So really, no matter how you go, as long as you still have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in you, and don't bend that knee to Baal, bend that knee to Esau, you're going to receive that crown, be of that elect number, and have that everlasting testimony, that memorial to your righteousness. And was it saying Psalms? Hey, blessed is the death of the saints to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It's as simple as that. But you got it, Yakana.
Yeah, this is I always bring this one out every blue moon. This is Matthew 19:26. It says, "But Yahweh Shai beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible."
God, that speaks for itself. And all throughout the scriptures, looking at the generations of old, we see that nothing is impossible to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, being saved.
Back up. The reason why I brought it out because of the example you brought out with Peter, right? The other statements that brothers made about, all right, you say certain patriots or certain things intervening in the possible death of a prophet, all right? A prophet or a brother almost narrowly making it, but that's proven that anything is possible with the Most High. All right, last seconds of there's no hope, and then you get a way to get out of it. That's the Most High, man. All right, and we seen it. We always, and Esau knows this. Esau puts it in his films, his different movies and shit where you see a guy, he's standing under the barrel, man. All right, he's standing under the barrel, hog tied, and it's the end. And then all of a sudden, the guy who's standing over him with the barrel, he gets hit with some other shit from somebody else. You know, somebody intervenes. That's always been how about Yahweh Shai's, that's been their thing, man. Because you got to give glory to the hero. All right, you got to give, and the hero being how about Yahweh Shai, man. Right along with the angels, whatever the Lord has deemed to happen is going to happen, man. All right, even some outside interference from what I'm saying. I'm alluding to the angels happening, intervening. That's possible, man. All right, go ahead, Doc.
Hey, to add to you, I'm gonna put something out to back him up. But to add to him, I remember when they was putting what is Meshach, and Abednego in the fire.
I was going to bring that account out last. That was the account I want to bring out last.
In Sirach 11:26, it says, "For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways." In the GNT, it says, "The Lord can easily wait until the day of death to reward or punish us." So, right when they're at that, like when you just reach that breaking point, be like, all right, it's out of there. All right, the Lord just lift something up and just like change the whole scenario around, man. So we know if we're gonna be scarcely saved, all right, I mean, the Lord gonna bring us, to the near death experiences, man. Because we're gonna have to know that the Lord is gonna make good on his word, man. We gonna go through something to know that the Lord was good unto us, man. You got it, brother.
We can close it out with that Daniel chapter 3 verses 23 to 28, just to back you up. They, some situations that our forefathers got put in, there was literally, no way out of it. Like with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were thrown into a fiery furnace that was already kindled. Let's just say with Daniel could have, Daniel got thrown into the pit. Daniel could have grabbed a bone and fought off the lions, or some kind of sci-fi shit like that. But with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were literally in a situation to where you could try to do a mathematical equation in your head to get out of it, but there was no way out of it. There was literally no way out of it. And just to back up what the brother Kayat, brought out, and some of us are going to be put into those situations where they're literally, okay, this is it. This is literally it. You got it.
Hey, because to be as a Yahweh Shai, we got to also go through the things Yahweh Shai went through. The servants differ from his master. if Yahweh Shah got the sting of death out the way, then we gonna have to get the sting of death out of our hearts, man. So the Lord will bring us close to death or dying that we may get over that, man. Because that's the last thing we gotta defeat, brothers. It's really done. That's the only thing we probably sit in and be mathematically like, man, I wonder, we still a wonder about it, or it'll have sometimes may have power over us or make us fearful. All right. Once we conquer that, it ain't much more like when you really think about it, like, okay, what else can really hinder me in any way, man? All right. And we gonna get that sting of death out the way. And the Lord gonna refine us. And that's why He refining us and trying us with debt at the end, that we may what? Overcome it. This is Daniel 3:23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
And if I could say, the build up to this situation was what? King Nebuchadnezzar made that image that he wanted everybody to bow down to, but Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego refused to bow down to that image. Just like we're going to come to that point to where Esau is going to want everybody to bow down to his image and, take that mark, and the elect are going to refuse it. And what's going to be the penalty for that? Getting put to death. You got it.
Verse 20. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astounded. I guess that's astounded.
Like astonished.
Yeah, astonished, astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
Hey, Yahweh was in there with them, intervening for them, setting up that standard for them. You got it.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the fire. Come on, brother. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads seen, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
And when you read in this account, it said, those men that were stoking the fire, they stoked it so much that the flames came out of the furnace and burnt them. They weren't even in the fiery furnace, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were walking around in the fiery furnace. And when they got pulled out, they didn't even have so much as the smell of smoke on them. They probably still smelled like frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah. Verse 28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent this angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they may not serve nor worship any God except their own power.
And it says in Isaiah chapter 2 that all the lofty looks of the proud shall be brought low in that day. And Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai alone shall be exalted in that day. When these great miracles are seen, ultimately the salvation, it's going to be without a shadow of a doubt that there is no power but the power of Yasharallah, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And what I love about this account with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is that they were in the Neo-Babylonian Empire and were saved from the fire. And the elect are in Babylon the Great, that virgin daughter, and they're ultimately going to be saved from that fire, that nuclear fire. But That's all I had. Did any other brothers have any other precepts or closing points they wanted to make?
Lord, I
Khan. Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this live lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.